Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode number 17 of your favorite podcast, the Ball Talk Boyos podcast. I'm joined, as per usual, by Joey Bereski. Joey, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, Topher. I've been itching to talk some ball. We didn't record an episode last week, so I just have so many fantastic opinions that don't fit your narrative built up, and I'm ready to share them. And plus, I'm repping my dad's Italy jersey. Great throwback jersey. His parents, my grandparents, got him, and man, it's a great night to be talking ball.
Yeah, we need to bring back jerseys with collars to them. I think
I know.
that's the lesson in you wearing that. Like clearly.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine a Tennessee Titans jersey that had a collar to it,
I think that would just
or a
that would push the
Brooklyn Nets jersey with a collar to it?
Wow, going Titans and Nets. That's crazy.
I was just thinking of a random team that would work for. That would be interesting if it had a collar.
And you know what? I mean, that just kind of talks about the whole short sleeve jerseys the Cavs had back in the day.
Yeah, LeBron would always rip the sleeves because it was too big.
Oh yeah,
those were sick though.
Those were sick. I need me a Kyle Korver Cavs short sleeve jersey.
But hand up, last week, on us, we were busy. We obviously have our own separate lives. That's on us. We'll be back. We're hopefully going to start having more content coming out. We'll get back to our one episode a week of now that, Joey's,
Unemployed.
You said it, not me. I got a couch for you always. Wasn't sure if it was too soon to make that joke yesterday, so I kept it in.
You're good.
But we're back. Better than ever, ready to talk some ball as per usual. But Joey, it's rivalry week for the second time this year. It's the battle. It's the battle of the bottom, though. We have the two lowest records in that fantasy football league. Joey and I, for the second time this year, square off. Put what's your team name again? Oh, no. Trophy Hogs going up against the Redeem team in the second regular season battle of the year. I won the first matchup.
Yep.
Pretty handily, I believe.
Yep.
So I think this one you're projected to win by a little bit as of right now, largely due to Nico Collins' absence from my lineup. But yeah, it's been a struggle bus to start the year in that league.
I mean, I'm
not been great.
I'm fifth in scoring in the league right now, and I've had 75, 80. I think I have 80 more points scored against me than anyone else has.
Yeah.
So per usual, I'm leading points against.
It's kind of weird that happens. Like it's enough of but like there's no explanation you could possibly give for why you've been the leader in points allowed the last 2 years. Like there's no
3 the last 4, yeah.
Yeah, 3 the last there's no explanation that can be given to explain why you've just had that many more points scored against you than anyone else has.
And you know what, Topher? I like to think it's because the universe doesn't want me to get too lucky, so they save all my good luck in fantasy football up for my playoff run. That's inevitable at the end of every year. So, I mean, listen, if you look at my team, most of my players are either they've been injured and they're coming back like a Deebo Samuel, or they're top 10 in their position. So, I'm good. My team's good. I'm happy with it. I just need to win some games. Plus, the divisions in our league are very lopsided this year.
Yeah, but I don't think divisions matter. We might want to look to abolish the division system, but
scheduling wise, because we play each other twice. There's some teams only play once from the other division.
Well, you play your division everybody in your division twice, and you play everybody in the other division. What that makes it once plus 2 of the teams twice.
Yep.
So we might because like it's all because like it doesn't even matter. You don't have to come in last to be in like the toilet bowl. Like it's just the
Right.
bottom two teams overall. But yeah, if either of our teams, go Chase Brown. Whichever of our teams loses, is going to be in a tough spot headed into the rest of the year. We'll be at 3-7, and it's kind of just like that's kind of how I've been with that league, especially because of the playoff format and it being 8 teams for make the playoffs for a 10-team league. I'm like I'll take my luck and hope I'm not one of the two that is squabbling at the bottom. I think if I lose this week, I'll try and make another trade. But honestly, I'd rather just wait for my team to get healthy again at this point.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of time. Do you have anybody playing in tonight's game? As per usual, we were recording during Thursday night football, as we do each week. Do you have any Bengals or Ravens?
I do not. I did draft Chase Brown though, and
I thought I drafted Chase Brown.
you draft my draft. I swear I drafted Chase Brown.
I'm like 90% sure I drafted Chase Brown.
You might be thinking of another league. Let me
Well,
just.
no, I did draft him in another league. I know that, but I thought I drafted Chase Brown because I thought I dropped him.
I think I dropped him. Oh no, I apologize. I've been hating myself this whole season for dropping Chase Brown when I
It
should
turns
have
out
known.
I was the idiot that dropped Chase
Oh,
Brown.
okay, I should have known I would not be that stupid. So thank you, Topher, for
I made,
being the.
but like at the time, I'm sure I
I
had.
don't know.
I probably picked up Braylon Allen for him.
Oh, at one point it looked like a good move because his workload wasn't that great, such as like
Yeah.
a Blake Corum, for example. So like I get it. I get
You
it.
drafted Blake Corum. I drafted Trey Benson, which is just as bad though. So
That's what I get for drafting the Michigan guy. I should have known better.
you should have known. Hey, they're not doing me too kind. It might have been PI, but I'm not sure. They're not doing me too kindly with Nico Collins still being out. But NFL trade deadline has came and went since we last recorded. Any noticeable moves in your eyes?
Well, first of all, just one last little thing going to in fantasy football. I was really hoping that DeAndre Hopkins would follow me. The week I move out of last place because of the points I've scored.
I had the number one waiver.
You had number
First
one
off,
waiver,
why
I
was he?
think.
First off, it's on Chad. The fact that
He
was
got dropped
available.
Sunday. Like
Yeah,
that was
no,
absurd.
there was
but,
no rhyme or reason for why he should have been on the waiver wire, and he's starting for me this week with the absence of go Jamar with the absence of Nico, and then Jaden Reed's on bye. But yeah, he's starting for me this week. Were you second in waiver wire?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I mean, so that was a good move. Lions getting Zadarius Smith from the Browns. That was a good move.
Yeah, that was solid.
The one move that was more of a head scratcher to me, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to attack you here. It was Jonathan Mingo.
It made no
I mean,
sense.
they paid a hefty price compared
For
to some
somebody
other
that's
receivers.
not very good.
I mean, granted, he's young and he's on contract for a few more years, but like, I just did not get it. Like, I feel like it just made no sense to me.
No. Like, if you're going to invest a 4th-round pick, why that? You could have gotten DeAndre Hopkins for a 4th-round pick.
Well, I think
You
it's
could have
about
gotten
the fact
Amari Cooper back for a 4th-round pick.
I don't think they're. I mean, clearly the Cowboys aren't contenders this year.
No, but you invest like if you're willing to invest it now, what's the difference between now and 2 weeks ago before Dak Prescott got hurt? Not saying trading for whoever doesn't lead to Dak Prescott getting hurt, but like if you're willing to invest it for Jonathan Mingo, why aren't you willing to invest it 2-3 weeks prior to get someone who's actually going to make a fucking difference? Excuse my language.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I know they were high on him coming out of college, from what I understand. But hey, they're just trying to get Trey Lance some more weapons for when Trey Lance starts at the end of the year.
No,
Isn't that right, Connor?
I think they said it's going to be Rush.
I know. Oh, it should be Rush. Trey
That
Lance
actually
might be
leads perfectly into our next segment. Cowboys are dead. It's over. Like I expected more out of this team, but like it's the injuries have just piled up way too much for that's like clearly. Let's go. Bengals are at the 4. But like that's clearly like the culprit in it all. The defense is way too banged up. I think they had higher expectations for the offense than they probably should have. Even the offense is extremely banged up, but the offensive line's horrible. Zach Martin's washed and needs to hang up the helmet. And then Dak got hurt, and I think Mike McCarthy's proven he's not an NFL coach anymore.
Yeah, I mean, their run game's also like not
Horrible.
been.
Well, I don't even know if they try and run the ball.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That their run game has been so ineffective that takes away the defense having to worry about the run, and so they just play for the pass, and they're still able to get to the quarterback because the offensive line sucks, and it's just not going to happen. And the injuries pile up. The losing Dan Quinn obviously hurts the defense a little bit there too. So like, it's just they were clearly going to take a step back this year, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I said they were a disappointing team this year because I thought they were going to take this step back, and they've clearly taken a step back and had injury issues, which just piles up into an amalgamation of horrible performances.
Just bad.
Yep.
But it just needs to be over. Like, they need to rule, like, just hang it up for Dak this year. Like, just call it. Like, let's not even try and get him to come back. Like, let's just go get surgery. Like, this is a washed season. Honestly, let whichever quarterback's going to get Mike McCarthy fired. That's who needs to play. Because he's probably already gone, but like...
Oh, he's gone.
Play whoever's going to like seal the deal on that. No, we just need to... Quinn had a very good point earlier this week, is like, Trey Lance needs to play just so we can answer the question. Like, we just need to know.
Agree.
We need to know if Trey Lance is an NFL quarterback or not.
I could not agree more. Trey Lance needs to play. First of all, if they invested in him like a Jonathan Mingo type of investment. But like I think there's, when it comes to those young quarterbacks who are drafted high, who have all this potential in the world that people talk about, you need to like I'd rather take the flyer. We know what Cooper Rush is. I'd rather take the flyer that you have something with Trey Lance, and at the very least increase his value.
But I think he's a free agent.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he is a free agent.
So like, it doesn't matter if you play him or not. But like, let the kid get an opportunity to try and see if he should get a job elsewhere next year.
Yep.
Like, he's still young, but it's like, and also for us, we just need to know. Like, it needs to be over. We need the conversation to be done. And, you know, to be fair, if he's not playing over Cooper Rush, that might also kind of answer the question. Don't know if we want to have that conversation yet, but like, we do just need to know on Trey Lance. And it stinks we might not find out, because
I forgot about that.
But I would like to throw my hat in the ring for next general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. I think
you cut out the part where you threatened his life earlier in the year.
No, I didn't.
I swore you did.
I don't think I did, because I thought it was funny.
Fair enough.
I didn't threaten your life. I just give me an opportunity to show. You don't know who needs an opportunity? Not Trey Lance. Topher Davis needs an opportunity. In an NFL front office. I may not know the most, but guess what? You give me a decision to be made, and I will make the gosh darn decision. I will lead the Dallas Cowboys back to playing February football, as we should be. Because name 5 people on this planet that have more faith in Dak Prescott than I do. You mean to tell me I'm not going to get the boys fired up on a Sunday afternoon, ready to play some gosh darn football? That's the end of my application.
I'm convinced, mostly because if you get that job, maybe I can get a job with the Cowboys too, and fail upwards there.
Assistant to the general manager.
Fail upwards there, something like that.
Yeah, you're not getting paid much.
Well, I'm not getting paid anything right now.
To be fair, I'm also the kind of general manager. I'm taking a pay cut.
Oh, I'd take a pay cut.
Yeah.
If I get a Super Bowl, if I get my nice little head in the Hall of Fame someday as a contributor to this game, as someone who worked in the front office, heck yeah, I'm gonna do that. You kidding me? If Baltimore Boyos took off, became the largest sports media empire out there, when we were billionaires, first thing I'm doing is buying a professional sports team.
Oh yeah.
And by professional sports, I mean NBA or NFL. I'm not talking about the other.
I'll do it. I'd buy an MLB team first.
Actually, I would buy Cleveland and make them the Indians again. But yeah.
But yeah, like I just want to be like comfortable. You know? Like I'm not gonna ask for like I'm not even gonna ask for I'm gonna ask for like low to mid six figures. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. I just want to be comfortable. There's no state income tax.
That's right. I mean, hey, just enough to buy that house on a lake with a boat. That's all you need.
Hey, damn right. Speaking of people that should go to jail, Matt Eberflus, or speaking of head coaches that are going to get fired at the end of this year, he's got to go.
Oh no! If only somebody or multiple people had said he should have been fired last year. Oh my gosh! Who could have seen this coming?
It's just gonna stink because I also see the argument of like you can't take away it for Caleb Williams like developmental. Caleb Williams developmentally, the opportunity to give him the right head coach was last year. It was to get rid of Eberflus, bring in the right offensive coordinator, which is clearly not Shane Waldron, and to give him the right opportunity. And he's going to lose a head coach and a play caller in the same year. More likely than not. I think you have to get rid of both of them. And you're now going to be stuck with a quarterback who's on his second year, his second play caller, his second head coach, and all of these.
And history repeats itself. I don't know if you've seen the post saying same thing happened in Fields. I think same thing happened to Trubisky. Like, that's just the history repeats itself at this point, and it's just the Bears.
I feel so bad. I really thought they weren't gonna mess him up either. Like I thought they were gonna do it right, and I still think they could. Like, I still think they likely wind up with it, but it's just like we're taking a weird path. Get in there. Chase Brown touchdown. We're taking a weird path to get there now. Like, I still think the Bears can be very good. We just might need a change in some of the voices that are doing the talking at the top. Because the Hail Mary stuff was, like, that was ridiculous.
Oh,
we haven't even had an opportunity to talk about that. Like, that was ridiculous.
That was horrible.
That was horrible. And like the fact that they're 3-17 or 18 or whatever it is now on the road, like you and I were talking before about we were talking about what the points against. Like, there's no reasonable way to explain that. Like, I'm sure it's the exact same way with that record, but like it's too much of a coincidence to not be like, huh.
Gotta be something going wrong here. Yeah,
there's gotta be something. Like we gotta be doing something wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, responding to a text. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Matt Eberflus. Maybe we'll have to have one of our Bears fan friends on soon to get. Maybe we give it another week to see if it the vibes are coming. Woo! Or like next week when their souls are just crushed for another week. And it's just tough to watch.
It's the perfect time to pounce on them and get their
thoughts.
True thoughts, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. A team that's not dead or doesn't have a head coach that's going to be fired anytime soon. The Chiefs are still undefeated.
Well, no, actually, Travis Swift's going to leave the country, right? Because that was what the...
Swift?
Travis Kelce. Because Taylor Swift said she's going to leave the country, so Travis Kelce's going to leave the
country. All right, hey, we're not doing politics. Nope. No politics talk.
This
Nope.
is about. I was about to get off
Nope.
politics.
Nope.
No,
Nope. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, Joe. We're a ball talk podcast. I don't know if you know, not a mic talk podcast.
This was not going to be political. I was going to say, and since Travis Kelce's going to be gone, then Patrick Mahomes is going to have an even greater case for being MVP.
But he's going to lose his best friend.
But Patrick Mahomey, DeAndre.
He's already not going to win MVP.
No, and he shouldn't win MVP.
He was horrible for 7 weeks.
I know.
And is now getting big. He's just a DeAndre Hopkins merchant, clearly. He played his first actually good game of the year.
DeAndre Hopkins merchant.
I'm going to come up with the merchant of the week.
That's
DeAndre Hopkins merchant.
Wait. That might be something. That might be something right there. That might be, write that down.
Hey, I'm not right. I'm writing it down. You got to cook up you're the graphics guy, though.
Merchant of the week, DeAndre Hopkins.
No, Patrick
Mahomes, DeAndre Hopkins merchant.
Is the merchant of the week by being a DeAndre Hopkins merchant. We're cooking.
Ooh, I got that. Ooh.
All right. Yes, they're still undefeated. Absolutely rolling, headed in. I don't even know who they play, but I think I saw something like the rest of their schedule here out is pretty laughable. What percentage chance do you put on the Kansas City Chiefs going 17-0?
Ooh, 17-0. 25.
They're bound to lose one of these right here. Actually, let me pull it up.
I mean, I think even if I think they're just gonna have an off enough day at some point. They can lose. It's the NFL. Anyone can still lose to anyone. Because there's still, every team's to some degree has some merit. Okay, go ahead.
Ready? We go. Yeah. They go. Broncos win more likely than not. Broncos are frauds. Like, I know they're 5-4 or whatever now, but they're frauds.
Yeah.
Bills. Tough game.
Where's it at? Where's that?
In Buffalo.
Yeah, you never know. You never know there.
Yeah, we'll see. Panthers.
Okay, come on.
Bryce Young playing better. He's played 2 solid weeks in a row. Better than Caleb Williams over the last 2 weeks.
Better than C.J. Stroud.
Better than
C.J. Stroud and Rashee Rice and Pat Freiermuth.
Why'd you say Rashee Rice? Rashee Rice hasn't played.
I was just making a joke about the trade I made in Dynasty to get
Bryce Young. Yeah. And Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, yep.
They go Raiders. That's a win. They're an organization in disarray. They play at 2 p.m. Oh, is this a Black Friday game? That might be a Black Friday.
Yeah, what, 4 weeks from now?
Yeah, the 29th. All right, and then Chargers, Browns, Texans, Steelers, Broncos again. So I see 3 tough games the rest of the year.
Texans, Steelers, Bills.
Yeah.
Browns.
Jameis.
That screams Jameis Winston throws for 450 yards and 4 touchdowns or something. That just screams Jameis and an interception, but just random good Jameis game.
And if not an interception, then like 4 that should have been picked. Because I know that they won that Ravens game, but he threw like 4 ducks that like should have been caught.
Yep.
Hey, what's it say what's the scoreboard say?
Says the Browns win the football game, baby.
Damn right they do.
Go Browns.
Go Browns, baby. It was Jameis Winston week. We were all more than happy to be celebrating. As you saw, the previous podcast was entitled Jameis Winston Season. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So you're saying 25% on the Chiefs?
She's going undefeated, yeah. 25.
And
that might be generous, too.
Were you surprised by D-Hop's kind of resurgence?
No.
Not one game renaissance, I guess, is probably more what it is should be better described as?
Not at all. Honestly, I have a lot of faith in D-Hop. I've known he's still good for a while. I think he just, for the past couple of years, just has had tough luck in terms of quarterback play. And
Yeah.
so I knew there was still something in there. I don't think he's top 10
choose to go to Tennessee.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not his fault, but like I do think that D-Hop being a good wide receiver still does not shock me.
It's still an option. Yeah, I think there was clearly still gas left in the tank. It was also just largely like a matter of like, all right, when are we gonna have the really good game out of him? And we just had it. So, for my fantasy team's sake, I hope he keeps doing it because I need it. Sorry, buddy. Calf Talk debate of the week. Does speaking of the Chiefs game, does the NFL need to change their overtime rules? I know in the playoffs they have, but for the regular season, do you feel like both teams should get the ball?
You know, and if we're talking like fairness and all that stuff, that would make sense. But I honestly kind of like the rule the way it is right now. It makes it kind of exciting. I think that it does at the same time. It does kind of come down to a coin toss sometimes, which I'm not a huge fan of.
It literally comes down to a coin toss.
Yeah, I mean that's not ideal. That's not ideal. But like I think it is. I do think it's at least there's like it's gonna be a walk-off touchdown like that. I think that's such a great like thing for the game. I think that's so exciting. It makes these huge moments. So I see the positives to it. I do see negatives though. Like I think transition to kind of what the college rules are, where each team gets possession
in the regular season. We do college rules, playoffs. We do what it is now, where it's like just playing football.
Yeah,
but both teams still get the ball.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea necessarily. But I personally do like the current way to some degree. I see the merit in it, but I also see the downsides. So I wouldn't mind a change. I just think it's one of those things where it's just the way it's been, the way it is.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't mean it needs to stay that way. So hopefully we see. He did not know where that ball was. Hopefully we see a change. I hope we see a change in that. Oh, there we go. There's a flag. There is a correct answer to this question, by the way. Was the Saquon Barkley backwards hurdle the coolest thing you've ever seen on a football field, or no?
There's two plays that are in the conversation for this, in my opinion. The Saquon Barkley reverse hurdle and the Jermaine Gresham, I believe it was.
Oh, the flip for a touchdown? Yeah,
the flip
no.
For a touchdown.
Like, yeah, that's a good one. That's also a good one. But
I saw that one live back in the day, and that knocked my socks off. The Barkley one was still awesome as well.
Oh my God.
Those two are. I mean, that's absurd. Did you see that? I don't know if you've seen the video of the reaction of the people on the Eagles sideline during that. They're like,
because first
it's awesome.
First, he made a guy miss, and then he, for some reason, decides he spins off another, and then is like, I'm just gonna jump, and he jumps over the guy backwards. He's about to have so many college and high school football players running laps this week.
There's been so many college and high school football players who have lowlights as a result of that, who get rocked, and whose coaches bench them for the rest of the game because of that play. And I'm here for it. I'm going to love it. It's going to be great. I can't wait for the first video we see, like, man, all these dudes trying to be like Saquon Barkley, where some dude failing that are going to get just getting absolutely rocked by the defender.
Going to be riding so much pine.
Oh yeah.
But like that, I watched that video like 4 times. Every single time it pops up on my timeline.
Oh yeah,
I tweeted about it at least 3 times.
Because it's a fantastic thing to tweet about.
It's so
a fantastic
cool.
play.
The Giants refused to pay this guy. Like we're just like, but we're like, Devin Singletary. Take our money.
Hey, Tyrone Tracy, the future there, though.
Yeah, low-key, kind of. What school? Schools.
Was it Iowa?
Purdue and Iowa.
I did not know Purdue. I knew the Iowa because a certain friend of ours has been glazing him all year.
He
But
started off at Iowa. He sucked, not sucked. He was underutilized, and then transferred to Purdue.
I mean, hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Whatever gets the job done. Any other thoughts on football the last couple of weeks?
No,
I
nothing.
don't think really much has happened. I don't think there was. We kind of talked about the Hail Mary. We talked about the hurdle, which is what we obviously had to talk about.
Yep.
I don't think really anyone's gotten hurt. We talked about the Cowboys being dead. Yeah. No. I will let you talk though about the Cleveland Cavaliers being undefeated, if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland Cavaliers have a great group of talent there. I mean, obviously you got Darius Garland's been an All-Star. Donovan Mitchell's an All-Star every year. You have Jarrett Allen, who's very underrated, has been an All-Star, but he's very, very underrated. Great defensive big.
Mm-hmm.
And Evan Mobley, who's also young and very, very underrated in my opinion. Not to mention they have a solid supporting cast around them. Like they have a really, really good roster that meshes well together. The issue was coaching. Jimmy Bickerstaff was not that guy.
Oh yeah.
And it's been a lot better with Kenny Atkinson. And I think that they're living up to more of their potential. We've seen in spurts over the past few years. They go on essentially they go on a run every season. The past few seasons where they're like the best team in the league for a month or two there, and then the wheels just fall off and then they sputter into the playoffs and then get knocked out early. But I think genuinely the Cavs are playing like they're going to be a top 3 seed in the East.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And they're definitely in the conversation as one of those teams that could challenge Boston. However, I'm not going to go out and say they're better than Boston at this point. I'm not stupid, but like they are a very, very good basketball team.
The better question is just, at this point, like they've got off to a great start. Like now, can you stay healthy? And is Donovan Mitchell a number one option on a championship team?
Yep, exactly.
Which personally, I don't think he is. He's probably a very good number 2 alongside like a big or a forward, but
he's like a Kyrie.
Yeah, he's probably of the Kyrie. He's probably not. No, I can't say.
I don't know.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah,
Dwayne Wade.
But
maybe Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne
Wade. Time he was with the Heat, or the
Dwayne Wade
when
LeBron was there. Yeah,
that's how LeBron was there. Like that's probably more what it is. But like, I mean, we're obviously not going to see Donovan Mitchell hit the highs that. I mean, D Wade was the number one option on a championship winning team.
He has Shaq as well, though.
Was Shaq washed by then?
I mean, it was, 2005, 2006?
Yeah. So he's probably close. Anyways, yeah, I think it's just going to be whether he can be the number one option on a championship team. Because, I mean, and whether we talked about it over the summer when we talked about Evan Mobley and whether he can find another level offensively to be a top 10-5 power forward. Oh, you got to catch that. Top 5 to 10 power forward in the league is like whether he can find that next gear. Because we talked about Franz Wagner. Those were the two we were comparing, and Wagner has it. Like it's just, can Mobley find that next gear offensively? MVP frontrunner Joey, would you like to take the reins?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of ridiculous lists about MVP frontrunners at this point in the season. I mean, I've seen Buddy Hield on people's like top 10 lists, even at this point, which is absurd. And there's something, I mean, like Jarrett Allen has been on people's lists. I think Jarrett Allen does have a little bit more merit, to be fair, but like that's still absurd. Like Jarrett Allen's never winning the MVP. But I think right now there's 4 to 5 guys that are really like in that conversation for MVP. Granted, it is way, way too early to decide anything else, but like I think Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic, SGA, Anthony Davis, and Sabonis are the 5 that you can at least like make an argument for right now at this point. And I think, frankly, Jokic, while his resume says he should be the MVP, he's going to need to do something otherworldly this year in order to get an MVP because the voters do not want to give him another MVP.
Basketball Reference actually has Jokic as the number one most likely to win MVP at 61%. And you want to know who's second?
Jason Tatum.
Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think I might have looked at this list earlier. I think it's one of my...
Yeah. And then Tatum at 3, SGA at 4,
SGA.
Jared Allen at 5, Garland at
Garland
6,
at 6.
Booker, Jalen Williams for the Thunder, AD, and then Buddy Hield is they have it at a 1.1% to win MVP.
Dang, so you're saying there's a chance for Buddy Hield to be MVP right now?
He's playing 26 minutes a game. He's averaging 21, 4, and 2. They're 7-1.
They've been
Is
pretty
it
good.
2016 again?
Amen. The Warriors.
Hey man, came all this way. Had to
Buddy Hield's
explain.
playing like an upgrade over Klay Thompson. He's playing an upgraded Klay Thompson right now.
Jokic is averaging a trip dub.
He, as one of our listeners / former intern / Craig pointed out on our Instagram we posted, he has 4 out of the 10 triple doubles in the league this year. Sabonis has 3, but
that doesn't matter. We've decided triple doubles don't matter anymore.
No, Westbrook kind of ruined that.
No, he didn't ruin it. The NBA media ruined it. They decided they don't matter. They started calling him a stat pad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Russell Westbrook being called a stat padder is what ruined it.
Yeah, no, that's not on Russell Westbrook. It's on the stupid media, the gosh darn media. I still think Jason Tatum's going to win MVP. They're 7-2. Yeah. It's not going to be Domantas Sabonis. I can guarantee that. What the heck? What are we doing?
Domantas Sabonis is better than Embiid, but we're not ready for that conversation still.
He's not better than Embiid. Domantas Sabonis is maybe a number 2 on a championship team. Maybe.
Probably.
He'd be a really good number 3. He's Kevin Love. We decided. Yeah. We're doing Kevin Love talk.
Oh, I love Kevin Love. I'm a Cavs fan. I know how good Kevin Love was. That is so incredibly disrespectful to Sabonis.
No. It is disrespectful to Kevin Love, if anything.
Sabonis is a top 10 player in the league. Sabonis is a top 10 player in the league.
Oh my god. Because we're using advanced stats, you freaking nerd. Get this out of here. One sec. I'm pulling something up.
You're pulling up his Timberwolves. You're pulling up his Timberwolves stats from when
I'm
he's
going to compare their first 8 seasons. The fair amount that they've each played.
Kevin Love was significantly better early on in his career than Sabonis was, and won significantly less because he was stat padding, going for 30 and 15 on those Timberwolves games.
Stat padding. Yeah, what's he? Heck out of here. All right, in their first 9 seasons, let's see what we got. Oh, actually, it's pretty even. Yeah, it's relatively even. Actually, it probably leans a little K-Love.
Well, yeah,
average more points, more rebounds, in less games. Shot better from 3. Shot better. What's VORP? What are the nerds doing? I'm okay with the nerds taking over baseball, but he also had 4 All-Stars and 2 All-NBAs.
And look at how many winning seasons he had during that time.
Well, I mean, this cuts into 2016, 2017. Look at how many seasons Domantas Sabonis has had. What are we doing? Dude, come on. He's been on the Kings for 2 years, and they've been good. What are we doing?
The Pacers teams were not that bad either.
Oh, my gosh. What are we doing, Joey?
You're disrespecting Domantas Sabonis.
No, you're disrespecting Kevin Love right now.
When Domantas Sabonis is second in MVP voting at the end of this year, like he would be right now,
all right,
we can have this conversation again.
Yeah, because he's not going to. I just saw some highlights of his dad the other day, though. Dude was cold.
Arvydas Sabonis was a beast and would have gone out as an NBA legend if he didn't come over so late.
Yeah, because he spent all of his period of his career in Europe.
Yep. Is there either Yugoslavia or the Soviet Union? I forget which one, but yeah.
This is a shortened season? Oh, yeah, this was... One sec. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Oh, nice. 30-52. Don't worry. My point will be made. We're at 2 winning seasons right now over Sabonis' career to start. 3. They were 9th in the West. Great. And last year, they were 4th in the West? Oh, no, this is to start this year. I don't know why. We're disrespecting Kevin Love, and we're way off topic now because this is not supposed to turn into a Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Love comparison. We'll get into another power forward in a little bit here. MLB. Yankees lose. The New York Yankees lost the World Series in a butt whooping of 5 games to the Los Angeles Dodgers, my first Little League team. Did you ever play Little League?
Yeah.
Do you remember what teams you played for?
The Patriots.
What?
Patriots.
That's kind of crazy.
And the Athletics, I believe.
Oh, you only played 2 years?
I think I stopped after like first grade or second grade or something.
Okay. I played...
I had soccer to pursue.
I was with... What was that?
I had soccer to pursue.
I played for the Dodgers and then the Red Sox.
Oh.
And then the... Well, I didn't have a choice. And then the Pirates and then the Rockies.
I might have been Pirates, actually.
Yeah.
One of the years.
Those were the 4 teams. I tried, like a year or so ago, I remember this. I tried to go back to look to see if they kept track of, like, stats. And I tried to find my little... Because I swear, that Boston Red Sox year, I was cold. Sure, it was like 4th grade, but I was cold. I had, to be fair, I had 1 extra base hit the entire year. But, man, did I just dig out those infield singles. I was just getting down the baseline. It was getting to first. And then when I was on first, I was getting to second. And I played a lockdown center. I'd play center. I'd play left. And then I'd play second and third. Or second and short. And it was all clamps.
Yeah.
MLB free agency is also kind of kickstarted. Nothing's really happened yet, but it's just kind of...
Free agency's already gone?
Huh?
It's already gone?
Yeah, MLB free agency works weird. It's not like a... You're not going to see everyone sign within the first 2 days like we do in... like, it'll take a lot longer. Like, people won't start signing and probably... Like, we've had a couple of signings, but nobody big is signed yet. Like, that won't happen until December, January sometime.
Makes sense.
So we really won't have much to talk about on that front until, like, the bigger names begin to sign. But nobody's signed anywhere yet. I just really want Juan Soto. Shocker, Juan Soto to be a Boston Red Sox. It's 93% of what I think about when I think about sports. As long as he's not a Yankee. But it's kind of... and sign a pitcher. That's kind of all the baseball thoughts I have, though. Do you have any baseball thoughts, Jobo?
We all know Juan Soto's coming home to Cleveland, man. We all know this. Because we all know Cleveland's going to spend that much money and quadruple their payroll on one player. But
yeah, $600-700 million.
Yeah, we're going to do that. That's why baseball sucks.
Why? I see the gripe I have with baseball, like payroll stuff, is that there should be a salary floor.
I'd be fine with that, kind of. But I think that the stupidest thing as a small market fan in every sport is that these big market bias, big media bias, like it's obviously bad in basketball and baseball, mostly like baseball because they can spend a heck of a lot more than in baseball. or than the smaller teams. And basketball because all these superstars have to go to these big markets.
Yeah,
But like
the big media markets.
But I mean, it's stupid that teams can spend so much more. It's like college sports, which I love college sports, but obviously Ohio State's going to be a better team year over year than Rutgers is, than Purdue is, than Northwestern is,
Yeah, I
because
think
they
if we
just
go
have so
back
much
and
more money.
look over time though, especially with baseball, like spending money doesn't always necessarily correlate to like wins.
It doesn't always, but it helps.
Like I think this year, like those two teams being like that high in payroll, being in the World Series wasn't like a normal thing to have happen.
Oh, it's not a normal thing,
Oh
but
no, we just started the second quarter. Jeez.
I mean, obviously, baseball is very, very random. We've talked about how it's the
Yeah.
most
How?
random of all
Yeah.
sports, but at the same time, it still is skill to a large degree because your team is gonna have a higher chance of getting lucky if they have better
If you have the
players.
better players,
Yeah. So I mean,
sure.
it just goes it's a goes in the wheel and just we can have the
But I
same
would also say like
conversation
the
with
lack of having like a salary, like well, there is a salary cap. It's just like it's a soft salary cap, so it's just like the higher you spend, like the more you're going to get taxed for like spending that much. And it's like it forces teams to make legitimate business decisions when it relates to like like the Guardians. The only reason they're not spending that much is because they don't feel like they won't make as much money if they spend more, and that's the entire reason the ownership won't do it. Like it just takes money immediately off the bottom of the line. But I mean, the New York Mets lost money this year, like as a
yeah.
business. They turned a net loss. So like, I don't really care about the. Sure, the Red Sox are in the top half, but like it's not like they're spending up with a lot of these other teams. They're not pushing over like to being taxed at all.
Fair enough.
We'll see though. Oh, Justice Hill. Ravens are also at like they're at the 5 yard line, so they're about to score most likely. Um, Boy of the week. This was kind of just like thrown together because I saw a Who's Next. Have you actually never seen any of his?
I think I have definitely.
Okay, go look up Who's Next Sports Show and watch the most recent video when we're done here because it's
Okay.
a banger. Um, but Blake Griffin is this week's Boy of the Week because I was just thinking about how much of a freak athlete he was. And I think by the end of his career became like a very good. Who's that? Is that Aguilar? Nelson Aguilar touchdown. But he became just a good bat. Like once the athleticism went, like he still had a couple of very productive years with the Pistons. Like post, like here, let me. I think I've looked this up before. We even had Blake Griffin as a Boy of the Week, right?
No.
I had a feeling we had, but I think we just have looked up Blake Griffin in conjunction with um, a lot of us. But Oklahoma Sooner legend too.
Yeah. He was on the
Drafted
cover of NCAA Basketball 2010.
drafted first overall, did not play his rookie year.
Tore his
Does
ACL in preseason.
so? Yeah, I was thinking about this. Like if a football player misses their like if JJ McCarthy like next year, could he win rookie of the year?
Definitely, yeah.
Because no, but he's not. That'll be interesting to see. We'll have to wait to see if JJ McCarthy starts and all.
Well, he's not going to win Rookie of the Year regardless, so let's be real here.
I mean, probably not. But like next year's draft class kind of sucks.
Fair enough.
We'll see. But yeah, he averaged a career high in points in 2018-19 with the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
And that, to be fair, that was his last like productive year before the injuries took hold. But I mean, before then, he was just kind of an athletic freak that just dominated dudes. It's a shame that like the Lob City never won a ring.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of Blake Griffin, you think of Lob City with the Clippers. And as someone who was such a big New Orleans Hornets Chris Paul fan, it hurt to see him go to the Clippers. But like at the same time, I became somewhat of a Clippers fan then because they were just so exciting. I mean, they had such great talent. Their role players were so much fun too. They had like JJ Redick. They had was Jamal Crawford. Like they just had guys that made me excited to watch baseball. Obviously, DeAndre Jordan made that All NBA first team that one time. People forget about that.
DeAndre.
Um,
I don't know. Crazy thing about DeAndre Jordan.
what?
He is the all-time career leader in field goal
Percent?
percentage.
Yeah,
Like,
he
yeah,
doesn't he doesn't take jumpers.
he was another one that was just a athletic freak that just jumped out of the gym.
Well, he's still in the
And
league too.
what's up? Yeah, no, he's still kicking. I don't think he plays a ton. He's playing the Udonis Haslam role.
Mhm.
The last 3 years with Detroit, or no, not Detroit, Denver.
Yeah.
He's an NBA champ. One time. Wasn't sure if he won it another time, but yeah, he's a dog. Remember that whole fiasco where wasn't it he signed with Dallas, and then it was just like, nope, and then signed somewhere
DeAndre
else?
Jordan.
Yeah, or am I
DeAndre
thinking of
Jordan.
somebody
Yeah.
else?
No, I think you're actually 100% right. I totally forgot about that.
Because like it was to go there. It was still while Dirk, I think, was fine. Let me look it up actually. Let me see if I can find the full story.
I totally forgot about that, and that's such a that's a good holy crap. That was a
Like I'm 90. Because eventually he did wind up going there. Yeah, no, he did agree to a 4-year, $80 million contract, but
yeah.
then pulled
He had a
out.
verbal agreement. He had the verbal agreement, 4 years, 87 million, and then backed out.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I thought I remembered because that was like, I think when he was at like the peak of his powers, and then he eventually wound up going there anyway. Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to see. Despite verbally committing to sign a 4-year, $80 million with the Mavericks, Jordan began having second thoughts just days later. And the Clippers flew to meet with him. He signed a 4-year, $88 million. So he got a little more cheddar on top.
He got that one extra million.
No, it's $8 million.
No, he got 80. It was a 4 year, $87 million contract.
I'm looking at it. It's 4-year, 80.
It says 4 years, $87 million according to USA Today.
I've seen 80 on like 4 different.
I apologize. The Clippers deal was 4 years, $87 million.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I mean, this was 2015 that he was heading there. So
that was right before the big jump in the salary cap, where guys like Chandler Parsons and Timothy Miles were getting paid $20 a year.
Yeah. So this was the year after he was that first team All NBA.
Yeah.
It was. I'm looking at it. He was a first team All NBA 2015-16.
Yep.
And he was first in D-Boy. Or no, fourth
crazy.
in D-Boy.
That might be the craziest first team All NBA player
That year he
of
shot
all time.
43% from the free throw line. You know what? This is Boyo of the Week, DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Blake Griffin, Boy of the Week.
Blake Griffin's fun to talk about. Yeah, I changed my mind. Boyo of the Week, DeAndre Jordan. Because wasn't the whole thing with him when they played the Mavs that he just got the crud fouled out of him?
I think it was the whole hack-a-shack thing with DeAndre Jordan, yeah.
Like, he got it really bad at one point, I remember.
Which is a strategy.
For his career, he is a 40.4 or 40.8% free throw line shooter in the playoffs.
No wonder why those Clippers teams never won anything.
Because he was shooting. He attempted in 2014-15, which I think might have been the year they came back. They blew the 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He was attempting 11 free throws a game.
So he was, scoring 4 points a game off of free throws when he shot 11? 5 points a game off free throws?
Yeah, his free throw made average was 4.8 and his attempted was 11.2.
That's
Dude,
disgusting.
Want to talk about cold? Austin Rivers was cold for some of those Clippers teams in the playoffs.
Dude, Austin Rivers, they had some guys who had some deep bags. Jamal Crawford, Austin Rivers. For some reason, I feel like I remember Lou Williams being there
Yeah, I think
too.
early in his career he was. Paul
Not
Pierce
really.
was there at one point.
Paul Pierce was there at one point. You're 100% right. I think Eric Bledsoe might have been there later or earlier. I mean,
Here, I'm looking at the 2014-15
but
roster. We got
man, those
Matt
are
Barnes, Reggie
fuck.
Bullock, Jamal Crawford, Big Baby Davis,
Oh,
um, Dayton Jones.
who the heck is Dayton? I forget about Dayton
He
Jones.
he was with the Cavs. DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, JJ Redick, Austin Rivers, Nate Davis, Hedo Turkoglu.
That's a name right there. He was cold with the Magic when Dwight Howard was there
Yeah,
back
no,
in the
he
day,
was a
man.
dog. Let me look at 13-14 Clippers too to see if there's any like big difference. But yeah, some of these are just dogs. Let me pull up 13-14 Los Angeles. Who would have thought I thought we were about to do 40 minutes, but we got off on Darren Collison,
Yeah, dog.
Jared Dudley,
Jared Dudley, he played a big role then, yeah.
Danny Granger.
That was end of career Danny Granger. Danny Granger is like the. Danny Granger is the. What's the comparison I'm looking for here? When it comes to Brandon Roy's, Danny Granger is like the. Fuck. Oh, crap. Danny Granger is like the. He's like the Draymond Green. Not Draymond Green. That's the service to him. He's like the Kevin Love of Brandon Roy's, man. He was a good player, just big what if because of those injuries, man. But
Yeah, he had 3 years where he averaged 20 plus points per game.
for those Pacers teams, Danny Granger, New Mexico legend.
Who else? Antoine Jameson, Clipper,
Yeah, that's where I remember him mostly.
and
Actually,
and Steven Jackson. We've got Ryan Hollins.
that's where I remember Ryan Hollins for the most part too.
Gosh, these Clippers teams do not get talked about nearly enough.
They had so many dogs on there, like notable guys. Like you can name a lot of the bench, but oh my gosh.
I mean, we
It's
just
just
went
a
through.
shame.
I went through basically the entire bench for both the 13-14 and 14-15 teams, and we recognized a lot of the names. Like, I'm
Well,
sure there were a lot of guys on here that like I didn't name because like we obviously don't freaking remember who Byron Mullins is.
I do.
Actually, he
Byron
went to
Mullins
Ohio
was Ohio
State.
State. Yeah.
Yeah. But like
Bobcats legend.
this Malik Waynes,
Yeah. Oh, he was a little guy. You should know him. He was a little guy.
he was 6'2". He's not a little guy.
I feel like I remember him being shorter in 2K.
No, he's 6'2". I don't just know all the short guys.
I thought it was like a whole like twin telepathy.
Yeah, you're right. We have a group
Group
chat.
chat. Yeah. There it is. But do you know why the Clippers didn't win a championship, Topher?
Doc Rivers.
Bingo. And that's why the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be the disappointing team this year because they have Doc frickin' Rivers as their coach.
Yeah, you're looking pretty pretty with that take so far.
Aw, you call me pretty? Thanks.
You always look pretty. What are you talking about?
Aw, come
All right.
on, stop.
Let's get this out of here. I haven't eaten dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. First college football playoff rankings came out.
Where was Ohio State?
Ohio State. Number 2.
What? Were they behind Oregon?
Yeah.
Oregon was 1?
Yeah, they're the only, like, there's, of the undefeated power conference teams, I think it's Oregon, Indiana's 8, and BYU at 9.
Where's BYU's at 9?
Yeah.
Where's Boise State? Oh, they're at like
12.
12 right?
Yeah, they're 12.
Because they'd play Ohio State. No.
They would play Ohio State if the season
If they
ended
won.
right now, and it was that exact yes.
Well, if they won their first round matchup.
No, that would be the first round matchup because Ohio State wouldn't get a bye because they're not a conference champ.
Are they the 11? Oh, because Oregon's gonna win.
There's the top four highest ranked conference champions, and since Oregon's in
Get
that place
buys.
right now, they get the first round buys, and then the 7 at large teams and the 5th highest ranked conference champ all play in the first round on campus. So it would be in Columbus,
The fifth?
Ohio.
Wait, there's only 4 conferences.
There's 4 power conferences, but because
Oh,
they have 5,
the fifth power, the non-power 5 or not non-power 4.
the
Right?
highest ranked non-power conference champion gets in.
Okay.
And
Please
right now it would be Boise State.
I hope it's
Boise State. That'd be great for the game, and it'd be a shame to see them come to Columbus, just get
Just
beat
watch
down.
Ashton Genty run all over.
Nah. It would be cool to have a playoff game at Indiana though. That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to look into that.
You're paying.
With what money? I don't have a job.
I know you're financially smart. My final thoughts is I'm just ready for the MLB postseason to pick up, or free agency to pick up. And lots of we'll see what happens in our fantasy football matchup, I guess.
Did we have a bet on that?
Allegedly. No, we wound up deciding not to do it.
Okay. That's fine. I was losing round 1, so I'm chilling.
All right, I'm gonna end this podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Go Birds!